Hey everyone, it's Ryan from The Next Ridge, and today we're going over the Gossamer Gear LT5 trekking pole. There's a few reasons why you might want to carry around some trekking poles while you're doing a lot of backpacking, a lot of hiking, or a lot of long distance walking. They reduce a lot of the stress on your knees and your hips. They can increase your stability while under load. They can also reduce a lot of stress on your muscles. In general, they're going to enhance your experience while you're out hiking or backpacking. So here we have with us the Gossamer Gear LT5 carbon fiber trekking poles. These are a three-piece fully carbon fiber trekking poles that utilize a twist lock as opposed to a flick lock. The grip here is 100% cork. Wicks away a lot of that sweat. It doesn't seem to kind of hold on to the sweat like a lot of other materials did, and like my cheaper trekking poles had in the past. On the middle section of the trekking pole, you do have various measurements to ensure that you have the same length every time you extend your trekking poles and you lock them in place. You do not have those same measurements on the lower arm. That is one thing that I would actually like to have in this trekking pole, is to have the measurements on this bottom section as well, because that would be really helpful to ensure that I have the same length every time that I extend them and set them up. It's not really a deal breaker. It doesn't seem to make that big of a difference, but it's just one of those things. If you're paying $195 for a pair of trekking poles, it would be pretty awesome, but again, not that big a deal. For those who do use the strap is adjustable, and I did use the strap for some time just to give it a shot and test it out and see what I thought. They are very comfortable. They don't irritate your wrist like some of the other straps I've used in the past. I find that if you are the type of person that likes to use the straps on a trekking pole, you're probably going to like these. Very comfortable, very effective, pretty great. And on the bottom you do have a carbide tip here. I like to use these small rubber feet to help protect that. And it gives me some more grip on various surfaces. I ordered an extra set just in case I lose them. I know I was on my previous set of trekking poles. If you would like to remove the strap on this handle here, all you would have to do is take off this screw here, and then you can pull the strap out right out of the back side, and you'll just be left with this small gap there, which is not that big a deal. But that does shave off a little weight if you'd like, and if you don't feel like they're very useful to you. So to just briefly show you how the twist lock system works on these trekking poles, it's an internal system here. There's really not much that you can see. You would just extend the trekking pole to whatever length you're looking for, and then you simply twist the two trekking poles together, or the two sections. You can see they're pretty sturdy. I can put a lot of weight on these and they're not going anywhere. To simply undo them, you twist them the opposite direction, and then they fold back in on each other. The pole itself, without the strap and without the basket, comes in at 4.6 ounces. The strap and the screw come at 0.4 ounces. The basket itself is 0.3 ounces. If you were to have this trekking pole fully loaded with the strap and the basket, you're looking at 5.3 ounces. So 10.6 ounces for two trekking poles, which is really, really super light. Fully closed, these trekking poles come in at 23.5 inches, and then fully extended, they're right at 51 inches. I like to think that I've put these trekking poles through its paces. Stacy and I, we've done quite a bit of hiking and backpacking with these, and I've taken a few falls that were pretty hefty and that would probably break some lesser quality trekking poles, but these seem to have held up just fine. There is some flex in them, probably a little bit more flex than you're going to see in some of the aluminum poles. With that flex, I still have yet to feel that they were actually going to break, so that does give you some confidence. It's worth noting that they do still sell the LT4s on their website, so you can still pick those up if you like the two-piece. The main difference between the Gossamer Gear LT5 and the LT4 trekking poles is this is a three-piece trekking pole, whereas the LT4s are a two-piece. These pack down to a much smaller size than the LT4s do, and that's something that I was looking for. To be able to compact all three sections of this trekking pole down and then either put them on the side of my pack if I'm not actively using them, that's just another useful feature for me. I've been using these trekking poles for a few months now. I haven't had any issues with them. Previous to these, I was using a pretty cheap pair from Amazon that was about 20-30 bucks. They did the job, but they were also pretty heavy. So it was about time that I switched over to something ultralight now that we are gearing up for the AT. I will probably end up removing the strap and keeping the basket, mainly because when I'm using these trekking poles, I don't really use the strap anyways. On occasion I will, if I'm crossing a river or if I'm going through some really rough spots, I will use the strap, but besides that, I'll probably just use the basket. The basket is super useful for me because this helps prevent your trekking pole from going into the mud too far. It also helps from getting it jammed in between two rocks. So this will actually, the basket will oftentimes stop if you have two rocks. It'll stop the trekking pole from going in too far and getting itself wedged in, so you can actually pull that back out pretty easily. I know that my biggest concern when buying these trekking poles was whether or not they're going to actually hold up. I was previously using aluminum trekking poles and they're really sturdy. I just wanted to reduce the weight. So I was a little bit skeptical getting some ultralight trekking poles that were fully carbon fiber. I have great confidence in these after using them for a few months. They seem to hold up just fine, really sturdy, surprisingly, and they work really well. Time will only tell as we get out on the AT and find out exactly, how well they're gonna hold up as we're hiking along up to Maine. So you do pay for ultralight gear and high quality gear. These are not cheap in the least. So I guess the question is, would I recommend these to other people? Shipped to my door, these were $195. If you have a lot of money that you're willing to spend on a trekking pole and you're looking for something ultralight, I would say definitely go for these. They fit that bill, they work well, great quality. If $195 is a little bit too steep of a price to get into some good quality trekking poles, there are definitely a lot of other options out there for a much cheaper price. If you're looking for the ultimate ultralight trekking pole, I would definitely recommend the Gossamer Gear LT5s. Well, thanks for watching. I hope this was somewhat useful for those of you that are looking to potentially buy these trekking poles. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Feel free to reach out, let me know if there's anything I can answer. Thanks, talk to you guys soon.